Hey everybody, we just got done with episode 1, working on episode 2. This is the first time that we're going to be opening up an ETB, and pretty stoked to say that it's the Journey Together ETB and not anything a little too basic. But we just scored this earlier today. Got 4 total ETBs in today. Got the Journey Together, 2 of those, and then 2 of them from the Pokemon Center as well. So the difference between those ones is most commonly that there's just an extra card. That's the exact same one that you're going to get in the same box, except the limited edition one from the Pokemon Center will actually say, look, Pokemon Center there in the bottom right. And then we will also receive, I believe in this one, just 1 extra pack of cards. But if we were opening the Pokemon Center one, but we're going to save those ones for later. I'm going to try and use one of those to bargain for the Destined Rivals from Pokemon Center. I have no idea if I'm actually going to end up getting that, but I'd really like to. Not sure if it's going to happen because I wouldn't trade a Destined Rivals Pokemon Center for an actual Journey Together unless that is more your style. I like the Team Rocket. It just was one of those things that when I was growing up, the Dark or Team Rocket edition was really cool to me. Just really enjoyed a lot of the artwork. I love the alternate take on the Pokemon realm of, it's not all just glitz and glamour. There's also that antagonist side to it. And I really like that. That it had a different perspective to it. So let's dive right in to the Journey Together ETB. Get it all nice and taken care of with a very dull box cutter. I apologize that the camera is a little bit more zoomed out, but I'm sure you can get over that. So, love a good ETB. All right, here we go. We got the player's guide right off the bat. That is freaking cool. And over here on my secondary screen, I've got the list of the top pulls all the way down to, let's see, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got the top 40 based on market value cards just over here to my left as well. So I'm just kind of monitoring that and just kind of keeping an eye out based on what the market has to say for these. But I'm a little bit different when it comes to what I could idealize as what is worth more. Not obviously I would never trump the market, but what I would mean by that is just because a card is worth more doesn't mean that it's sentimentally going to be worth any more. So like that Wailord may not be more than, as of right now, which is the 28th of March, a much more valued card than, even the top 11 cards are worth more than that one, supposedly. But I prefer the way it looks. I think it looks fantastic, and I'm really excited to get the chance to pull that. And if we pull it, I'm pretty stoked. Actually, earlier we ended up pulling the Sentret in that last video that I just did, which was the first video that I've ever posted. So this is that Sentret that I just pulled a little bit ago, and I'm really excited to see if that thing ends up getting a good enough naked eye inspection to maybe potentially send it off. How many do we get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would probably mean 10 packs are going to be in the Pokemon Center one, but I do not plan on opening those up. At least not anytime soon. Maybe at some point I will. I don't know. I wasn't planning on opening up my 151 box until about a month and a half ago. Mostly the reason why was because I'm not really a box collector. Like, it's cool if you want to leave it sealed, like, do you have your own, idea and whatnot. But for me, it's like, kind of do this for the collection and having fun and pulling cards and whatnot. I don't collect boxes. I don't care about the plastic that they're in necessarily. It's cool to preserve if you've got like duplicates and whatnot. Like in my binder over here, one of my binders, I don't have a bunch of singles that I'm willing to part with, but I got a few doubles that I'm more than happy, or even triples. I've got 3 Venusaurs from 151. I wouldn't mind getting rid of or trading off or even sending off depending on their value. Man, that looks good. I love a good promo card, and I like Zorua. And I pulled Zorua, a few or 2 of them from the Shrouded Fable, and I like Shrouded Fable. I think it's actually one of my preferred sets. Man, that looks good. Sorry if the camera keeps kind of fixing itself there. It's not the world's most expensive camera, but boy does it get the job done. I've been a real big fan of the Elgato equipment, and we're just gonna go and dive right into this and see what we can come up with. And I remember the pack trick was one from the back, and I know some people might actually give a crap about whether or not the code card is gonna get shown. I apologize if I missed that, and I really don't care. Let's see. Sorry. I know that there was, it looked like an EX was back there, just a basic EX, but we're gonna go ahead and motor on through this. I like that rock ruff. It's pretty underrated Pokemon. Mostly just the artwork. I really like the artwork. Bayonet, Grimmsnarl from before, Pangoro. There's much more different Pangoro I've seen before. Wilmer, Tadbulb, ooh, and a Blaziken EX. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. So that's 2 things that we've opened up so far, and I mean, not including the one that my daughter had grabbed earlier, which was a oh, there it is, the Dunsparce. So she pulled this in our very first Journey Together box, and which is the first one that our house has even opened up. And then I pulled the Furret in the first pack that I opened up earlier today, and now, or just in the last stream, and then now I just pulled that Blaziken EX. So we are 3 for 3 of first Journey Togethers being opened and actually getting a pull card. So that's pretty freaking cool. And I do apologize to any of the younger viewers if you are out there and I accidentally pop a swear word in there. You might want to find a different channel if you're a little nervous that I might accidentally throw in a little curse every now and then. I like the quality that goes into these ETBs. It's pretty good. I like these card sleeves look fantastic. I mean, the energy, nobody really cares about that. And I would hope that instead of like them throwing in like these tokens, like some pins would be cool instead. Maybe instead of like always having like the dice and the pins, or the dice and the tokens and whatnot for flipping a coin and all that other stuff, it'd be really nice if they'd throw in a pin, kind of like on these collection or premium collection boxes. I'd really appreciate that. I like a good box pin. All right, let's see if we can get through this. Ooh, Swinub, Delmise, Shelmet, Toad's Cruel. I never really know how to pronounce some of these Pokemon names, and actually one of my buddies and I earlier today, because we were talking about like Zacian or Zacian or however some people might want to pronounce it, even Suicune or Suicune, if you want to get a little throw a little extra panache on it. And we were kind of talking about that, and one of the like a good cop out is watch the animation show, and whatever it is that they kind of say on the show, they kind of know what they're doing. There's the kind of the guys that, you know, developed it. They're the ones that really are gonna they're gonna tell you how to pronounce it, and I really don't. At least not outside of like the OG 151. And you know, even still, I'm sure I've been pronouncing Poliwhirl wrong for 29 years. Alright. Beldum. Man, I've noticed that the artwork in these is a little more, I don't want to say cartoony, but a little more like you can see the prominent black lines in the artwork, and I like the black lines and whatnot. I think it like that looks fantastic. I'm not saying a child drew that, obviously, unless it's an extremely gifted child, but The artwork's just been really good. Lens Clink. Oh, Brock's scouting. All right. Big fan of Brock. I mean, obviously not with his, he's really one for the 7 deadly sins. He's definitely into one of them more so in particular than some of the other ones. Man, that's a cool card. So the centering's pretty decent. It's not great. Little nick in the top right, and but man, that's just I love a good illustration rare or full art card. Yeah. Wow, so we are nearly 1 for every 3 packs is a art rare, or just a full art card. Anywhere from just a basic EX to my very first illustration rare was the Furret, and man, I'm kind of enjoying Journey Together. It's definitely a good change of pace after getting absolutely demolished by Prismatic Evolutions, which has been one of the most painful experiences that I've ever really had. I probably opened up 20 packs and I pulled 2 total non-basic cards. So like both of them are the little less than $10 Espeon. My daughter pulled one, I pulled the other, and honestly, it's not been the best of situations. I was lucky enough to get the UPC from Pokemon Center, but I really am having such a hard time figuring out whether or not I actually want to open that. I think I might leave that one sealed and then just kind of move on to just anything else. Yeah, it's cool, like chasing after the God Pack or demigods and whatnot, and the Master Balls. It's cool, but like it's not really something that I'm super interested in anymore. Like I'm all for the chase. I'm all 100% for the chase. Spend $1,000 on 151, and you'll probably end up nearly about where your invested amount is. But dude, spending $1,000, especially on market price, not like MSRP, would just be one of the most painful experiences I could possibly imagine with Prismatic. It is. I love some of the artwork. The Terra artwork is nice. Definitely more of other versions than Terra when it comes to like price and whatnot, but man, if it is just one of those things that, we're starting off with a Rockcliffe again and a Caterpie, and a Magmar. Okay, so this is kind of deja vu. Okay, well at least it's kind of getting out of there a little bit. Trauma Skin, a Golem, a Golem into a Graveler, and a Magmar. Nothing incredible out of that one, but still significantly better than anything that we're going to pull out of Prismatic that I've developed my own little idea of what a pattern is, which is if it was a relationship, it'd be the most abusive relationship I've ever seen outside of being in a courtroom. Would not recommend somebody that's jumping into it into the hobby right off the bat as thinking that Prismatic is kind of where we're at with regards to like how this thing works. It's kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth for what this actually could be, because if no pulls is what they're kind of looking at, then that's no fun. There's a Wailord, and that's the reverse. Piloswine and a Metagross. I love a good Metagross. Piloswine actually evolves into one of my most favorite Pokemon, Mamoswine. When they first introduced Mamoswine, I thought that was one of the coolest Pokemon ever. In Pokemon Go, it's one of the most common ones that I will nickname just Mammoth, just because I've always thought like mammoths were such a cool mammal that had ever walked the earth. Living here in eastern Idaho, these plains that are actually just west of where I live now, there actually is a lot of evidence that mammoths used to kind of roam these lands and do what mammoths do until, of course, they were hunted extinct. Yeah. But pretty cool. Actually, there looks like there's a couple mammoth swines arts that are in this group. Looks like there's both of them are EXs. One of them's kind of a full illustration, and then the other one's just a basic EX. It's pretty good. And then you got the Swinub, that's an art rare as well. I like that one. Still tracking down that Waylord Volcanion, or Volcanion, however you want to pronounce it. That's a pretty cool one as well. But that Articuno, one of my buddies, he actually just pulled that not that long ago, and that's freaking sweet. Hoping to get that one myself, just because I think Articuno is one of my favorite, or is my favorite of the birds. Zapdos kind of gives them a run for its money. God, I like that art rare, or that illustration. That looks good. Volcarona. My wife, her first 100 on Pokemon Go, 100 IV, was a Larvesta. She hatched it. It was the very first Larvesta she hatched. Oh, all right, jumping into a Belly Bolt EX. That is a pretty sweet looking card. And then re-upping our awesome little pull rate here. I think we're somewhere between between 2 and 3 packs have been resulting in what might be considered an illustration. Or sorry, not an illustration rare, but an actual, like a pull card. Cool looking card. Sorry about the camera. Maybe if I take it out of the sleeve a little bit, maybe, because it's not like I'm going to be sending this one off to anybody. So we'll just take it out of the sleeve, get a little more of a good look at it. Yeah. So, there we go. Now we're kind of working here. Come on, camera. There we go. Looking good. Man, those corners, though. Just like little tiny nicks here and there. Yeah, it's fine. At least as long as it's on like an EX card and like a basic EX card instead of like on one of the more top tier cards. That's not what anybody wants to see on one of the upper valued ones. So, maybe QA, quality assurance, working on it. Some of the lower ends is just fine. Trash can's getting a little full. Packs thrown out. Alright, looks like we got 2 left after this one. And then we'll be kind of moving on. The next ones that we're going to end up opening up is Hubzacian EX box. A little individual tiny mini portfolio thing. Booster bundle. That's going to wrap up that video. Later on with my daughter off stream, I'm going to open up the 3-pack blister with her. It's just still one of the things that I like to really do with my kiddo. I really like to open up cards with her. She really enjoys it. She was a little bit upset when I told her that I was going to head downstairs and do this on my own without anybody other than the camera. And she's like, "What are you doing with the camera for?" Like, come on, because we never done this before ever. So like explaining it to nearly a 6-year-old is kind of difficult, but still not too bad. All right, we're gonna start off with the Dark Energy rare. It's Castle. Man, calm down, N. What are you compensating for? Holy cow! All right, that's weird. All right, Parasect. Oh. Oh! All right! Oh, I kill a Watcher, but man, that's all right. Man, this pull rate, I think that was back to back. I mean, the centering's a little bit off, but man, is that a good looking card. I guess that's one really nice thing about like just jumping into it rather than doing a lot of the research. You don't really get you get a little caught off guard. And man, I like getting caught off guard a little bit here with these cards. Ah man, come on with the QA. A little bit in there in that corner. Oh, that's a good looking card though. Yeah, I like that artwork. That's sick. What is she? Is she eating a sandwich? Come on. just going for a ride with their Kilowattrel, just having a sandwich. It's a cool card though. I do like that. I like the artwork. I like the glimmer on that. It's nice. And then it's not like overpowered by like too much texturing or too much like background. Oh, look at that little cloud there in the background. Also kind of looks like a Magnemite. That's a little bit interesting. And we got what looks like the head of a Magnemite coming off the Kilowattrel right there. Oh, her barrettes in her hair is Magnemites. Little mini Magnemites. That's cute. And then the artist also just had to throw in that full-size Magnemite back there in the clouds. I like that. It's little things like that. Please, who did this one? Tarota Terra. Good for you, Tarota. Man, that is some nice stuff. Wife's family, most of them are in Japan. Currently, right now, they went to Japan for a vacation for a couple weeks. And they will be, actually, I think they're only in like day 4 right now out of like 14. We were supposed to go. Unfortunately, last year I broke my leg. I was rock climbing, had a small accident. Ended up destroying my ankle. I was out of work for like 6 months. It is what it is. Missed out on the vacation, unfortunately. All we ended up doing was, actually, we took 6 months of vacation, it seemed like. But we had a pretty good time cruising around a lot of the western side of the United States, just going, pretty much in between doctor's appointments and whatnot, just working on physical therapy. But we were going to go to Japan. We had everything paid for, all the reservations booked. But when I would come back to work, I knew I wouldn't have the vacation days. And that sucks. It is what it is. But once we decided that, we're not going to be able to swing it, oh well, then we were just going to go ahead and, move on with starting to get our money back, and it hurt, but oh well, it is what it is. I lived in Japan for 2 years. I was really hoping to go back and see some friends and kind of experience a lot of the things I absolutely loved from being in Japan. The culture is just insanely amazing. I love their artistry, and I love their traditionalism. It's just a really fun country, and I know that my wife and I are gonna try to go probably next year. We don't really know exactly. And a Tyranitar Hollow. That's a good looking card. Kind of hoping that we can get a nice little trip in overseas. We haven't gone overseas in a long time. Actually, we haven't even been overseas really ever. I think the last time that we even went outside the United States was when we went down to Mexico a few years ago, when just like the very end of COVID, and it was right as I actually remember it very vividly, because the day that we got to Mexico was the exact same day that the U.S. had pulled out of Afghanistan, and we had the casualties, 13 Marines and I think it was 1 loss there. Big bit of a loss. All right. Basic energy. So this is the last pack from the ETB. After that, I'm going to go ahead and end it, and we're going to jump into the next stream, which will be pretty much just kind of a cluster of a few different things. We're going to kind of boom through that one as well, even though I'm kind of dragging on this one. I'm just really wanting to feel this out, see how it comes out. A little Sigilif and a Minchino and a Meowscarada. All right, so that ends that one. I really appreciate any of the stopping by, any of the checking it out and whatnot. This is one of the things that I've always really just enjoyed doing by myself, and I wasn't 100% certain how much I really wanted to do this, but one of my buddies kind of talked me into it. So shout out to you, Eddie. Much appreciated on being the catalyst for making me do this. I know you're watching, so yeah, I appreciate kind of like pushing me in the right direction on this one. And trying to see if we can get some momentum from all this, and hoping that we can actually kind of make something happen. And I really am enjoying this so far. Loosened up after the first one. Once you really get it going, it's really not hard, or really not bad. But I appreciate everybody stopping by for the second video. Much appreciated. And I will see you here very shortly for the third one. Later.